Alright, welcome back. Another video. Just want to point some things out real quick from yesterday. Finished up the Aileron servos and the flap servo. Pretty straightforward, nothing crazy there. The one thing I did do on the flap is just when it's in the full up position, if you kind of look, you can kind of see that the arm is kind of angled towards it to kind of give it a better resting position, and then as it comes down, it's actually pulling it. So a little bit different than your aileron setup, you know, putting that directly in the middle. But you do have to do a little. I did have to do a little sanding here and on this flap, the top side, because it's, you know, it's hinged on the bottom and the top opens. The top, I had about 1/8 of an inch that this would hit, like right like that, before it would actually at its full closed position. So I had to sand a little bit of that top basically top gap to make it sit a little bit better. This end on the top had some material I had to remove, but other than that, pretty straightforward. So I got to figure out how I'm going to route. There's 2 holes on the front side to run everything out each side, and then after that I moved on to the nose wheel, putting the servo on the nose wheel. Nothing too crazy there. It come with these. It has screws, metal screws, and it screws into this plate. There, it's actually tapped, so you don't have to add the lock nuts, but I did it for security. And then you put this little arm on. I put the washer just for, you know, extra protection. Put a lock nut here. This bolt or screw is actually shorter. I used one of the longer ones and actually swapped them. Put the short one on this end and the long one on this end, and then I put a lock nut here, and then raised it up a little bit. That way there wasn't such a huge angle, because what was happening was the edge of the ball was bottoming out because of the extreme angle coming down. So I raised this side up a little bit to make that work a little bit better, but that's it for that. Next thing was installing the landing gear. That's kind of where I stopped. It comes with these really nice 4mm kind of Allen style. Wow, it's not going to focus this morning. Well, shoot. There you go. And these are kind of beefy. They wouldn't go through the holes because they were just too small, but it only needed like 1mm of drill out. I was worried because there's not much meat material on the outside of these holes, because they're angled to kind of set for these screws. But when I drilled it out, it was only about 1mm of material to drill out to have these where they would actually sit in there and go through. So the next thing after that was actually putting them in and drilling the holes. I started with this one because it fit real easy. This one I'll have to kind of move around a little bit to match this one. I just need to take some measurements to get them both right, but it did worry me a little bit when I drilled the hole. There's not much wood underneath the skin, the composite skin. Didn't even look like an 1/8 of an inch wood. It didn't look like it was aircraft ply. It looked like it was that light ply. So you're going to have to be real careful. Oh, sorry guys, I'm not paying attention. You're going to have to be real careful. It's kind of a weak point, I think. They just didn't. I would have put kind of like a 1/4 inch aircraft ply in there, but there's only like 1/8 of an inch, if that, and it seems like it's light ply, because when I drilled that, it drilled real easy, and I used like not even a 3mm drill for the screws. So I marked it, used my little handy dandy, where's it at? This guy, because it's got like the beveled end, so it gets your center kind of a thing. and then marked it. Kind of did like a little start drill, that way the drilling wouldn't run on me. And then I drilled the holes, and that's when I noticed you could look in there and you could see just very little material. So it's something to watch out for. Take it easy on your landings if you can. I know nobody likes to have a bad landing, but I feel like that's a weak point in there. So, but that's it. And I know there was some other things that I was going to talk about, but I totally forgot. Yeah, I think that's it that I can remember now. I'm sure I'll remember after I get off here. Yeah, today I'm going to finish up this other main gear, get the nose gear installed, and then that'll be kind of all the hard stuff. The rest will just be installing gear, motor, and running wires and things like that. So, but just wanted to show you that, kind of mention this one little thing, and then I gotta find, oh yeah, I gotta find a place to, there's no hole in here for the brake and the motor lead, so I'll have to find a place, you know, find out where to put the little access hole and then to run the wires. So that's one other thing. They don't, there's nice long leads, so hopefully it's a long enough to get it all the way to the controller, but then again, you know, you got to put a connection point where the wing goes under the fuselage. So, plus this one's just too short. This is the brake lead, or this is the motor lead. So it kind of gets you to the point where it'll be coming out of the wing. So then you just got to make your other leads to get it on out. So, but yeah, that's it. These, like I said, these went in fairly easy. Had to do just a little cleanup on the mounts. You can see that in the picture. To where the servos would fit flush on there. So that's it for today. Like I said, it's going pretty quick. I should be done in another day or two. So you guys take it easy.